My name is Nico, and this is the story of how one night of music sparked a love I didn't know I was ready for. It was August 2025, and I was 29, a drummer living on Mykonos, where the sun burns bright and the nights hum with possibility. I'd built a life around my drums, performing at festivals, letting the rhythm drown out the loneliness that lingered when the lights went down. My beats could set a crowd on fire, but they couldn't warm the quiet corners of my heart until that summer, when a stranger's dance changed everything. The Mykonos Summer Festival was the island's biggest stage, and I was headlining. The beach was alive, packed with bodies swaying under strings of glowing lights, the air heavy with salt and excitement. I stepped onto the stage, my drums gleaming under the spotlight, my pulse steady but restless. I played this festival before, but tonight felt charged, like the air was waiting for something to ignite. I launched into my set, the rhythm sharp and relentless, the crowd surging like the tide. My hands moved on instinct, the beat a language I'd spoken for years, but then I saw him. In the heart of the crowd, a man was dancing, his movements fluid, almost otherworldly, like he was woven into my music. He was around 30, with dark hair swept back, sharp cheekbones, and eyes that caught the festival lights like they held their own spark. He wasn't just dancing, he was responding to my drums, every step syncing with my rhythm, every turn a challenge to push harder. Our eyes locked, and the world shrank to just us. Me on stage, him in the crowd, connected by a beat neither of us could ignore. I leaned into the drums, the rhythm growing wilder, and he matched me, his smile bold, daring me to keep up. When the set ended, the crowd erupted, but I barely registered it. My eyes were on him, still dancing, now closer to the stage, his gaze steady on me. My chest tightened, not from the rush of the performance, but from something raw, something new. I didn't know who he was, but I knew I needed to find out. As I stepped off the stage, my drumstick still warm in my hand, I made a decision. Tonight, I wasn't hiding behind my music. I was chasing the spark that had just lit up my world. The festival pulsed around me as I wove through the crowd, my drumsticks tucked into my pocket, my heart racing faster than my set. People shouted my name, praising the performance, but I was fixed on one person. I spotted him by a beach sidebar, leaning against a post, a glass of wine in his hand, his posture relaxed but his eyes alert. Up close, he was magnetic, tall, with a dancer's build, his dark hair catching the glow of the lights. I took a breath, steadying myself, and walked over. "Hey," I said, my voice rough from the set. "You were out there, dancing. You match my beat." He turned, his lips curving into a slow, warm smile. "I'm Luca," he said, his voice smooth, with a faint accent that hinted at years of travel. "I'm Nico," I replied, and I've never seen anyone move like that to my drums. He set his glass down, his eyes studying me, curious but kind. "Your music," he said, "it's alive." It pulled me in like it was meant for me. My pulse jumped. Meant for him. I'd felt it too, that connection, but hearing it from him made it real. We started talking, the festival's chaos fading into the background. Luca was a dancer, a nomad, chasing stages across the world, Paris, Tokyo, Rio. He'd landed in Mykonos for the festival, drawn by its energy. "You're set," he said, leaning closer. "It wasn't just music. It was a story. I want to be part of it." I swallowed, caught off guard by how his words hit me. I wasn't used to being seen, not like this. "Want to get out of here?" I asked, nodding toward the beach. He nodded, and we walked away from the crowd, the sand cool under our feet, the waves a soft rhythm against the shore. On the beach, Luca opened up. He talked about his life, dancing to escape a rigid hometown, finding freedom in movement, but always feeling like something was missing. "I love the stage," he said, "but it's lonely when the lights go out." I nodded, my own walls coming down. "I know that feeling," I said. "The drums keep me grounded, but at the end of the night, it's just me." He stopped walking, his gaze steady. "Maybe it doesn't have to be," he said, his voice quiet but sure. My heart stuttered. This wasn't just a conversation. This was the start of something I hadn't dared to want. We sat on the sand, the festival's music a distant pulse, the stars blazing above us. Luca's arm brushed mine, and I felt a warmth that cut through years of solitude. He asked why I drummed, what it meant to me. I told him about coming out at 22, facing rejection, finding my voice in Mykonos. The drums, I said, they're my way of saying I'm still here. He listened, his eyes locked on mine, and then shared his own story, leaving a small town, dancing to prove he could, always searching for a place to call home. "You've got a home here," I said, the words spilling out, raw and true. Luca's smile softened, and he took my hand, his touch steady, electric. "Maybe I do," he said. The festival's music shifted, a slow, soulful beat, and Luca stood, pulling me up. "Dance with me," he said, his voice a mix of challenge and promise. I wasn't a dancer, not like him, but with his hand in mine, I didn't care. We moved together, my hands on his hips, his arms around my neck, the sand shifting beneath us. The world dissolved. It was just us swaying to the rhythm, our breaths falling into sync. Luca's eyes held mine, and I saw something deeper than attraction. Trust, vulnerability, a shared leap into the unknown. "Nico," he said, his voice low, "I don't know where this is going, but I want to find out." My chest tightened, not with doubt, but with clarity. "So do I said. We stopped dancing, our faces inches apart, and I leaned in. His lips met mine, soft at first, then fierce, a kiss that burned away the quiet I'd carried for too long. The kiss lingered, deep and certain, the waves crashing like they were part of our story. When we pulled back, Luca's eyes sparkled brighter than the stars. We sat again, talking as the festival wound down, sharing dreams we'd kept hidden. He wanted to dance on global stages, but maybe root himself somewhere real. I wanted to drum for crowds, but with someone to share the silence. "What if we build that?" I said. "You mean Mykonos?" Luca squeezed my hand, nodding. "I'm all in." I reached into my pocket, pulling out my drumsticks, still warm from the set. "These," I said, pressing them into his hand. "They're yours. A piece of my beat." He held them like they were sacred, then kissed me again, slow and tender, sealing our promise. As dawn painted the sky, we walked along the shore, hand in hand, planning a life, his dances, my drums, a home by the sea. My name is Nico, and this is our story, a gay love story that proves one night can change everything. If this story set your heart racing, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more. Comment below, would you bet on a love sparked in one night? Help us hit 1,000 subscribers. Your support keeps these stories alive. Until next time, find your rhythm.